300 something, but the Quraysh, the polytheists, they were like triple the number, 1,000 something, triple around there. And they were fully armed, basically, equipped, well equipped, but the Muslims, they had 300, they had how many camels? I think 670 camels. Huh? So they will take turns riding on the camel, so they were not well equipped, the Muslims. So what happened here, the Prophet ﷺ, when he arrived at the area Badr, he and Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, they went to scout the area, to see around the area, also to find more information about the location of the Quraysh army, the polytheist army, where they are, and maybe more information about the army. So to find more information. So what happened when the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and also Abu Bakr, they were out there, they found a Bedouin nearby in that area, and with skills of interrogation and asking and seeking information, they were successful in obtaining information about the location of the Quraysh army. See, interrogating someone, you have to, there are skills to be learned. It's not just, and I think those who are in the intelligence agency, they learn many of this, interrogation, the way and how to, detectives, they give you answer, and you suddenly, say something which can be against you or in court, So this, and they record. So this is everything. But Abu Bakr and Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, they got information. And also, on that day, this is before remember how the Battle of Badr started? Anyone know? It started with three, they fight one to one first. So 3 from the Quraysh, they sent 3, and 3 from the Muslims came and fought, and then after that the battle started. Okay, so before that, also the Prophet ﷺ, he sent Ali bin Abi Talib and Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas and also Zubayr ibn Awam. So Ali ibn Abi Talib, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, and Zubayr ibn Awam. These are famous names of the Sahaba. Ali ibn Abi Talib and Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas and Zubayr ibn Awam. Yes? All right. 3 names only. Imagine the muhaddithun, those who transferred the hadith to us, they memorized 1,000 names. Yes? Allah Imam Bukhari, for example. Word for word, and they don't forget. Allah has blessed them with very strong memory. Yeah? So this one for us is hard to remember this. We remember now, but after 20 minutes we may forget. Already forget, you see, this is the thing. Ali ibn Abi Talib, Zubayr ibn Awam, and Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, inshallah. So the Prophet sent these three men to also to gather information. But these 3 men, they met with these 2 boys, young boys, okay? They met them, and of course they captured the 2 boys and asked, where are you from? Who are you and where are you from? So they said, look, we are with the Quraysh, and what we do is we carry water for them. We go around and fetch water and bring it to the Quraysh army. So it was the right answer. It was the truth. They said, but then these 3 men, Ali ibn Abi Talib and also his 2 friends, did not believe. So they took the 2 to the camp of the Muslim army. They took the 2 boys, and they, mashallah, showed more force. So in order for them to say the truth, interrogation, a bit of torture maybe, a bit of, I see When I was in Pakistan, in the police station, they get slapped on the face, and it was scary. My first experience, police station in Pakistan, in Hyderabad, the city name, was slapped and the police was yelling at him and even hitting him with the stick, So something like, maybe there's no explanation what they did, but they were forcing. So it must be some force there, verbally maybe, or maybe some physical contact made. But they said, oh no, we're not from Quraysh. We just boys, roaming around the desert, so we're not from Quraysh. And then the Muslims thought, okay, that's it. Like they are satisfied with the answer. And the Prophet ﷺ, when he saw all of that, he said, look, first he spoke the truth. He said that he was from Quraysh and you guys beat him. And now he spoke the false, that he's not from Quraysh. You guys released him, left him. He is from Quraysh. What he said the first time is correct. He's from Quraysh, carrying water for them. So then the Prophet ﷺ spoke with the two boys. He got more information about the whereabouts of the army and their numbers and equipment, maybe weapons, and also maybe the leaders who came. Yeah? Abu Jahl came and others, the big leaders of Quraysh. So from here we know, interrogation needs skill. Huh? You need to learn how to interrogate, and possibly should be humane as well. Possibly can, huh? Inshallah. But sometimes I don't think you can be as humane as possible. Eh? In some situations it's different. Okay. So happened that, and after that, the Prophet ﷺ moved with the army of Muslims to find a good spot for the army to camp there. So what happened was the Prophet ﷺ, where's my notes? Okay. So the Prophet ﷺ chose a spot, and he said, this will be our place. And then one companion of the Prophet ﷺ asked, is this spot, you chose this spot because it is one of the tactics of war? Why did you choose this spot? The companion asked the Prophet ﷺ. So he said, no, this is because, my opinion, part of my tactics for war, I choose this spot. So that Sahabi said, look, I want to suggest something better. What we do is we dig a hole and make like a well, put water in it. There were like well around the area, many well, and we transfer all the water to that well, and then basically destroy the other well, the water well. So the enemies, they're not able to get water, So yes, war is like that. Yes, so they did that. So the enemy, the Quraysh army, will find it difficult to get water, to have enough water for them. So this is one of the tactics of battlefield the Prophet ﷺ and his companions did. And also they said to the Prophet ﷺ, Sa'ad ibn Mu'adh, he said to the Prophet that we want to build for you a headquarter, like something small. So he said that I will take the responsibility to protect. So he took some men with him as well to protect the headquarter, like maybe a tent, you can say, made from wood. Okay, a place where the Prophet ﷺ will be there protected, and let's say if the enemy win, the Prophet ﷺ will be taken to Medina by that group of men, and Sa'ad ibn Mu'adh is leading that group. Take him to Medina, and then the people of Medina will go out to defend the Prophet ﷺ, because there are people who are left in Medina, and the Sahaba said, Sa'ad bin Mu'adh said that they have the passion to defend you, the strong will to defend, just like us. So in case of if we are defeated, our position, you can go back to Medina, and then it just builds a safer place for the Prophet ﷺ. So that they built that, and so here, even after all of that, even the Quraysh army, some of them, they said, there's no point in proceeding with war. There's no point, because our caravan is safe. Yes, our caravan is safe. So why do we go for war still? So some of the Quraysh army, some of them, like 1/3, they went back to Mecca. They said, we don't want to engage in war. So that's the wise thing to do, actually. But Abu Jahl and his, Abu Jahl and others, those who were, strong enemy of Islam, they said, no, we can't do this. We will have to proceed. And they said we have to do some party. We allow the women to sing, and we drink, we drink and we eat food. And we show to the people that we are strong, and we will put an end to this one. So this is the arrogance, the arrogance of Abu Jahl. He is also known as the Fir'aun of this ummah, the Fir'aun, Fir'aun هذه الأمة, Abu Jahl. So he said, no, I'm standing firm, and I will have to fight the Prophet and his companions. So this is Abu Jahl. Okay. All right. So the first clash that we said, 3 people from the Quraysh and 3 from the Muslims. So who are the 3 from Quraysh? Anyone know the names? Utbah, and son. No, not son. That's Shayba. Shayba and his son Walid. Let me check it. That's correct. See, before I came here, I read and tried to memorize the names, but sometimes you forget again. So the first one, look. All right. So first Shayba and his son Walid. So that's not Utbah, is Al-Walid bin Utbah. So Utbah bin Rabi'ah. So he says Utbah bin Rabi'ah stepped forth between his brother Shayba and his son Al-Walid bin Utbah. Okay, the son of Utbah is Walid bin Utbah, and his brother is Shayba. So Utbah bin Rabi'ah and his son Walid bin Utbah, the son of Utbah. Walid bin Utbah, Utbah bin Rabi'ah, and his brother Utbah bin Rabi'ah's brother is Shayba. So these are the great leaders, great men of Quraysh. This is not the. So they came out. They said. So first they saw 3 Ansar coming, 3 helpers. The people of Medina said, we don't want these 3 guys. We don't want them. We want our, cousins. Cousins. So the Quraysh. We don't want Ansar. Tell them to go back, but we want 3 from Quraysh, from our, families, our cousins basically. So the Prophet ﷺ sent who? Anyone remember, inshallah? Ali radiallahu anhu and? Yes, uncle. Who is it? Abbas ibn Abdul Muttalib, and one more person. This is also a Ubaidah, his name. I think. Oh, is that correct? Hang on. Ubaidah. Yes. Wait. Is it? Yes, Ubaidah. I think it's Ubaidah. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Yes. Okay. So Ubaidah bin al-Harith, so Ubaidah ibn al-Harith, Hamza, and Ali radiallahu anhu. So these three men. So inshallah, memorize again. Ubaidah bin al-Harith, Hamza, and Ali radiallahu. Also, it's not Abbas, it's Hamza. Hamza bin Abdul Muttalib, that uncle. He was killed in, I think in Uhud. Yes. By who? Wahshi ibn Harb. Yes. That's coming, inshallah. So Hamza. So Hamza, he fought with Shaybah, so he killed him instantly. Yes. Abbas after, I think he's, yeah. So Hamza killed Shaybah, and Ali killed Al-Walid. Ali killed Al-Walid, and Hamza killed Shaybah. And Ubaidah and his opponent, or who was the opponent? He's left Al-Walid bin Utbah, Shaybah, and Utbah bin Rabi'ah, that person, yes. And he was with Ubaidah bin Harith. They fought, so they each other wounded the other one. And Ubaidah bin Harith, he fell because but he didn't die yet, but he fell. And his two companions, Hamza and Ali, took him to the side. And then they both attacked Utbah bin Rabi'ah. Yes, and then end his life, yes. So, and Ubaidah bin Harith, he died after 2 days from his wound. Yeah? So he became a shaheed after 2 days. No, he says that he 4 or 5 days later, not 2 days, even later than that, due to infection and things like that, complications and infections. So this one, and even after these, fights, even other as well, and then after that, the whole army, took part in the fight. The whole army from both sides. But these were the famous, the three men from Quraysh and from the Muhajirun, the immigrants. Okay, mention the name again. But the name of the three men from Quraysh. Utbah bin Rabi'ah, yes, and 2 more. Yes, who can help? Shaybah and Shaybah and the son of Utbah bin Rabi'ah. What's his name? Walid. Yes, Walid. So Walid, it's easy. Utbah bin Rabi'ah and his son Walid ibn Utbah, and another person, the brother of Utbah bin Rabi'ah, is Shaybah. Yes. And who were the three men from the Muhajirun, the immigrants? Hamza and Ali and Ibn Harith. Yes. طيب. So the Prophet ﷺ, after the fights, in the individual fights, then the Prophet ﷺ prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He prayed, of course, because, if you see 300 versus 1,000, your brain will say, your mind will say, no win here. This is a loss, And 300 not equipped with all the weapon they need. So but then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet ﷺ supplicated in a very strong supplication. He mentioned, Allahumma in tuhlik hadhihi al-isabah al-yawm la tu'bad. Allahumma in shi'ta lam tu'bad ba'da al-yawmi abadan. So these are very strong words, basically. Yeah? The Prophet ﷺ said, "O Allah, should this group of Muslim be defeated or killed, then you will no longer be worshipped on the face of the earth until the day of judgment." So that's very strong supplication. He continued to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala facing the Qibla, even until his cloak fell off his shoulders. He was raising his hands very high, supplicating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "O the Prophet, O the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have cried enough to your Lord. You have cried so much to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will surely fulfill and grant you what He has promised you." So in Quran, وَإِذْ يَعِدُكُمُ اللَّهُ إِحْدَى الطَّائِفَتَيْنِ أَنَّهَا لَكُمْ. So surely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will keep His promise. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what did He send as help? How did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help the Muslims in the battle of Badr? Send angel. Yes. Angels He sent. إِذْ يُوحِي رَبُّكَ إِلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ أَنِّي مَعَكُمْ فَثَبِّتُوا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا سَأُلْقِي فِي قُلُوبِ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا الرُّعْبَ. That the angels, they were told to give strength to the Muslim, to the believers, and put fear in the hearts of the disbelievers, and then to basically give a blow and hit the necks of the believers. So this is the help from angels. And then also in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Inni mumiddukum bi alfin min al-malaika." I'm sending help by sending how many angels? Alf. What's alf? 1,000 angels. Yes, that's a lot of help, big help. 1,000 angels. Okay. And then when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the angels, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was, of course, after supplication, strong supplication, he was a bit dizzy, maybe sleepy a little bit, But then suddenly the Prophet ﷺ lifted his head and said, "Abshir ya Abu Bakr." And Abu Bakr was next to the Prophet. He said, "Glad tidings, O Abu Bakr, good news, Abshir. Ataka Nasrullah, the help of Allah has came to you. Hada Jibreel, this is Jibreel here. He's holding he's holding the rope of his horse, and he's bringing the thick sandstorm, because when the horse runs, it leaves a sandstorm. The sand. What is it called? The trails of dust. Yeah? And then the Prophet ﷺ said, "Sayuhzamul jam'u wa yuwallawna ad-dubur." And in that instance, Sayuhzamul jam' means the multitude will be put to flight, and they will show their backs. Yuwallawna ad-dubur, the enemies. They will show their backs. And then and then also the Prophet ﷺ took some handful of gravel and then threw it to the direction of the enemy, while saying, "Confusion sees their faces." Confusion sees their faces. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually made those particles reach their eyes. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, وَمَا رَمَيْتَ إِذَا رَمَيْتَ. When you rama in Arabic means throwing something. When you took something and threw it to the enemy, you did not throw, but Allah threw it. So with the help of Allah, it reached the enemy from a long distance. Yes. So this says, So the Prophet ﷺ, of course, during battlefield you have to give, give courage to your army to fight. So the Prophet said, in Quran, وَسَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ. سارعوا. ما معنى سرعة in Arabic? سارعوا. سريع, race. Go fast, yes. سارعوا إلى مغفرة, to the forgiveness of your Lord and paradise. Paradise, the width of the paradise is like the width of the skies and earth. Very, very wide paradise. That's the size of the paradise. So this is, for those who fight in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even, so the angels, even some of the companions, even the disbelievers, they saw, someone capturing someone. But then it was the angels, it's not, one of the Muslims, angels. Or even the Muslim army, the Muslim, they saw this person, this disbeliever fighting, but then he suddenly just fell and died. So the angels, but they were invisible. They're not seen by the Sahaba, the companions of the Prophet. So even Shaitan, he left. Shaitan, Iblis, he left the battlefield. Why? Because he saw the angels. The Iblis saw the angels. So him and his group, they left. They ran away. And even some of the polytheists, they also went back to Makkah. They said, no, there's no point fighting. So they went back. But again, who stayed? Who stayed fighting and tried to even encourage others to remain fighting? What's his name again? The Fir'aun of this ummah, Abu Jahl. Jahl. Even his name is not nice. Abu Jahl. What does Jahl mean? Ignorant. Yeah. Is the father of ignorance. Maybe different other names. So Abu Jahl, he tried to, of course, keep the army of Quraysh fighting. So even he took oath on Lat and Uzza and Manat, And then there were two also. How did he got killed? Anyone know? Abu Jahl in the battle of Badr. Yeah, two young men. Yes, two young men. What happened there? Yes, good. Fighting over? Yeah, trying to show the Prophet ﷺ, I killed him first, and the other one said, no, I killed. Okay. But before that, how did that? Did these two boys know Abu Jahl? Yes. They ask someone. Quraysh? The Quraysh are the enemies. They will not show Abu Jahl. Not the Quraysh. Someone, one of the Muslims. Anyone know the name of that Sahabi? Abdul Rahman ibn Auf. Also famous Sahabi, Abdul Rahman ibn Auf. So the two boys, they were talking to each other. Do you know Abu Jahl? And Abdul Rahman ibn Auf heard. And then they asked, can you point to us Abu Jahl? And then Abdul Rahman ibn Auf asked, why do you want Abu Jahl? Because we want to end his life because he was giving hard time to the Prophet. So we want to. They were two young boys. So and then they both saw, Abu Rahman, that's Abu Jahl there. So they immediately attacked both of them. So both made the attack on Abu Jahl and end his life basically. But then, I think Abu Jahl didn't die instantly. He didn't die. He was like powerless. He was on the ground, laying down on the ground, but he was still breathing. So after that, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu saw him, laying down on the battlefield, breathing his last breath. So he stepped on his neck, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, and said, "Look, do you see how Allah disgraced you?" Talking to him. So Abu Jahl replied that, he said, "I'm not disgraced. I'm just, a man who has been killed in battlefield. That's all. I'm not disgraced by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala," because they don't see it. They see, I'm fighting for my people. So I'm not disgraced. I'm now powerless. I'm wounded. Yes, that's all. Nothing more than that. I'm not disgraced. And then Abu Jahl asked, who's winning? Then Abdullah ibn Mas'ud replied, is Allah and His Messenger winning at the moment. And then he replied, he said, "Oh, you shepherd, you shepherd," because he was a shepherd. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud was a shepherd. He looks after, the sheep. So, belittling him, saying, "You shepherd, you have chosen." He said, "You have followed a difficult path. You have followed a difficult path, O shepherd." So what the path you're following right now is a difficult path. It's difficult for your future. So leave the path. It's trying to say. And what did Abdullah ibn Mas'ud did? He cut off his head, So give that final, like, the ninjas cut the head off. Yes? Make sure, his life ends. So he cut his head off and took it to the Prophet ﷺ. This is this is war, War is like this. Allahu Akbar, Alhamdulillah, the Prophet ﷺ praised and said, "Allahu Akbar, Alhamdulillah, alladhi sadaqa wa'dah wa nasara 'abda wa zaman ahzaba wahda." Allah is great. Praise to Allah who has fulfilled His promise, helped His servant, and Allah defeated the disbelievers, the confederates, Ahzab. And then the Prophet ﷺ, said after that, "Hada Fir'aunu hadhihi al-ummah." This is the Fir'aun of this ummah. So Fir'aun is a label of, someone who is oppressor and everything, basically, the enemy of Islam. Okay. Let's go back to the names, inshallah, again. Huh? Still remember? Yes? But Sakina, there's a lot of Sakina. Sakina, tranquility and peace. But they say if you sleep in like in bayan or something, or in a lecture, it's not peace. But if you sleep in war, in battlefield, that's peace. That's Sakina. In war, when you're surrounded by the situation is over, but you sleep and you get that good sleep in war, that's Sakina from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, slept. If you sleep like a baby in war, that's good. But sleeping while khutbah Jummah is not Sakina. Barakah. Okay, so the names, inshallah, yes. Let's do some work out with the memory. Yes. Utbah bin Rabi'ah, and these are from the three from the Quraysh. Walid is the son of Utbah, yeah? So, and then SH, Shayba. Shayba is Shayba. The Muslim one? Bin Harith. MashaAllah, good, good, good. Queen of Sheba, Sheba Queen, I think. No, not the same. That's Sheba. Bilqis. Okay. So there are here some instances of, the Sahaba, their devotion to the Prophet ﷺ. Some incidents during the Battle of Badr. So one over here, the Prophet ﷺ, before the Battle of Badr, he said to his companions, if you, there are some men from Banu Hashim, this is his families, some men from Banu Hashim, please capture them, but do not kill them, capture. So one of those men from Banu Hashim is his, Abbas ibn Abdul Muttalib. So you said he was not a Muslim yet during the Badr, so Abbas ibn Abdul Muttalib. And another person, his name is Abu al-Bakhtari bin Hisham. Abu al-Bakhtari bin Hisham. So these two men, the Prophet told his companions not to kill them, capture them. So arrest and capture. So, so one of the companions, his name is Abu Hudhayfa bin Utbah. Abu Hudhayfa, bin Utbah, when he heard this, the Prophet, saying that just capture these men, these two men, but don't kill them. So Abu Hudhayfa bin Utbah said, surprisingly, he said that we kill our fathers, we kill our fathers, we kill even our children, our brothers, and members of our, tribe, clan, and then we spare these two men, we kill our fathers, we kill, those people who are close to us, but then we are told to spare these. He's objecting to, basically, to what the Prophet ﷺ commanded to do. He's objecting a little bit. So what's his name? Abu Hudhayfa bin Utbah. Abu Hudhayfa, yes. And he said that if I see Abbas ibn Abdul Muttalib and one of these two men, I will strike him with my sword. I'm not going to allow them to live, basically. So it's because we kill our fathers, we kill our children. If they are in the lines of the enemy, we kill them. We don't spare their lives. So Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, if he says, on hearing this word, Allah's Messenger addressing Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu said, the Prophet ﷺ said to Umar radiallahu anhu, that is it fair that the face of the Messenger's uncle, Abbas ibn Muttalib, Abdul Muttalib is the uncle of the Prophet, yes? So his face is struck by a sword. Is that fair, Is that fair? And these two people, they were not, the strong enemy. They did not harm the Muslim when they were in Mecca. They didn't. But even they tried to stop, to help and put a stop, to the boycott which happened. The boycott of Banu Hashim. They tried to stop, the oppression the Quraysh were doing to the Muslims. They tried their best, what they can, So it's different to those, who proceed with fighting and killing. For them, you have different treatment, of course. And for those who more friendly, you treat them differently. It's like, you have to know your enemies as well, yes? Not everyone, they're kafir, finish, done. You're kafir, not Muslim, finish it. No, some they give you support, so you have to see where you stand, basically. So that's why it's not, the Prophet said, he said to Umar, though, he was speaking to Umar, that is that fair, like the uncle of the Prophet, he gave a lot of support to the Muslim when they were oppressed, to be struck on his face with a sword. So Umar radiallahu anhu, when he heard this, he got upset. To who? To Abu Hudhayfa. Abu Hudhayfa bin Utbah, he got upset. He said, and then he threatened him, look, you have to stop and you have to take back your words, And then, but then he was remorseful. He regretted what he did. Abu Hudayfa bin, what's his name again? Utbah. Abu Hudayfa bin Utbah, he regretted what he said. We do this mistake, but he regretted and he thought, nothing can, I can't be forgiven unless I do something in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like fight in the path of Allah, and until I become a shaheed, then that may, maybe my sins can be forgiven, objecting to the commandment of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this Sahaba, Abu Hudayfa bin Utbah, he later, he was martyred in the Battle of Yamama. Know the Battle of Yamama? No? Anyone know the Battle of Yamama? No, Yamama is not the trench. Not Yarmouk, Yamama is called. You can search inshallah on the phones, because that will make a memory for you when you search, and you never forget inshallah. You're typing on Google, it will create a memory. Yes, search inshallah. Yamama, what is Yamama? It is the battle when it happened. Musaylama, that's it, mashallah, champion. Musaylama, who's Musaylama? Fake prophet, yes. And this happened in the Khalifa of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. That's good. See? MashaAllah. I have good companionship in the masjid. So yes, so this Musaylama Kadhab, he said he's a prophet too. He shared the same common thing with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And not just that, this also the battlefield, the battle that Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu sent, armed force to fight the apostate who left Islam. Yes, they tried to say, we're not going to do this anymore, after the Prophet ﷺ passed away, we're not going to do this zakah, we don't give zakah anymore. So basically they left Islam, and so Abu Bakr, he gathered an army to fight them. So this is one of the it's a long story as well. So Musaylama Kadhab, who killed him? Anyone know? Wahshi ibn Harb. Wahshi ibn Harb, who killed one of the uncles of the Prophet? Hamza, yes? So with the same weapon, he killed Hamza, he also killed Wahshi ibn Harb. What weapon was it? Spear, javelin, yes? Threw it, got his stomach, he died. Yes, so Hamza. No, Wahshi ibn Harb. So this Sahabi, Abu Hudayfa bin Utbah, he was killed as a martyred in that battle, Yamama. And there were a lot of Huffaz died. Those who memorized the Quran died at that battlefield. That's why Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he thought of, compiling the Quran. Because when you see, the Huffaz, those who memorized the Quran, many of them, martyred. So he said, no, we have to now, collect the Quran. And he appointed someone to collect the Quran written in maybe in animal skin, animal bones, pieces of different verses, so compiling until they have the whole Quran, and also two witnesses, so two Sahabi who memorized that verse by heart. Yes, that's that story happened, but then he got someone else as well. That's a long preservation of the Quran, very interesting, yes. Yeah, very interesting. And I think we have to know this, because you see, how do we tell truth and falsehood? You have to go back to the source of, and the source of Islam is Quran. You see, the source of Christianity is Bible, yeah? So is it still authentic, or has been changed, or what? He said, we need to know this, very important. Otherwise we have nothing, basically, We have nothing, so we need to learn the preservation of the Quran, the history, and how, and even until today, mashallah, Quran is preserved in the hearts of many of our children, of Muslim people. It's amazing. Yeah, it's hard though, it's a hard job. It's not an easy one. Bed Street. Same street. Which Masjid? Faulkner. Muhammad, what's his name? Muhammad. Maybe I know him. Yeah. Muhammad. He teaches Pakistani. Lebanese. Okay. Yes, it's not easy. Alhamdulillah. Even for us, we memorize Surah Yasin, a struggle. Surah Kahf, struggle. We memorize it, forget again. Memorize it. Yes, so Alhamdulillah. So this is, we need to go back to Quran. That's why, it's good to watch the, mashallah, many scholars, they have on YouTube long videos, debate. It's a good thing. It's good to, then watching other, non-beneficial things we watch. So, so this is one of the incidents. See how the Sahaba radiallahu anhu, they felt, they felt that what they did was wrong, and they made sacrifice to so their sin can be forgiven. See that Abu Hudayfa, he thought that I have to be a martyr in order to expiate my sins, the wrong thing I did. Even Wahshi, when he killed Hamza, why he did when he killed Hamza, killed Hamza, then he killed someone who is also one of the great enemy of Islam, Musaylam. Yes, so that's one of the instances of devotion shown by the companions of the Prophet ﷺ. The other one also, the person who, one of the person who the Prophet ﷺ said to capture only not to kill is, the other one was Abu al-Bakhtari bin Hisham. One is Abbas ibn Abdul Muttalib, another person was Abu al-Bakhtari. This person, he done his best. When the Muslims were in Mecca, before they migrated to Medina, he done his best to, stop his people from oppressing the Muslims. Even he tried his best to, stop the boycott and everything. But again, when he came with the Quraysh, the army of the Quraysh, to take part in the battle of Badr, he says that I will keep fighting. I will keep fighting unless my people is spared. They let go free, then I'll stop fighting. But if they're not released, I'll keep fighting. So he kept engaging in the fight. Abu al-Bakhtari ibn Hisham was the second person who the Prophet ﷺ told the Muslims to capture only. So he was fighting Mujdir bin Ziyad al-Balwi, that's his name. But then he died. Who died? Abu al-Bakhtari bin Hisham, he died. Ajib, bravery is different, huh? Oh yeah, it's lethal. Someone brave, nothing to lose, and they're in a fight. The person who is scared, has fear of dying, will lose surely, even if they have, the most advanced weapon even. You see that? So that's the one thing that we have in our hearts now. Al-Wahan, Wahan is weakness. The Prophet ﷺ is Hubb ad-dunya wa karahiyatul maut. Love of this material world and fear of death. Yes. About what? Yeah. That we have that one. We love our life, we love our wealth, we love our our cars, our house, our wives, we do love. And then we even can't wake up for Fajr sometimes. Go to the mosque, say, we love our sleep. See? That shows we have that one, that weakness. Can we even sit with our children and teach them Quran? No way. We go search for Quran teachers from outside. and said, "Oh, I can't teach my kids. It's so hard." I think you as a father, you have to teach. If you can't teach your kids, you expect others can teach your kids? No way. Yes? Yeah? So we have a lot of one sometimes, not just in battlefield, for everything. For our salah we have one, we have weakness. We can't wake up or read Quran, we feel down, lazy. PlayStation, mashallah. Huh? Watch a movie, good. Huh? It's very hard, yes. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us that strength and the iman, the hubbul iman. Allahumma habbib ilayna al-iman. And وَكَرِّهِ إِلَيْنَا الْكُفْرَ وَالْفُسُوقَ عَلَيْهِ. So that Abu al-Bakhtari incident, one of and then also here Abdul Rahman ibn Auf. He was one of the wealthiest Sahabi, yes? Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, yes? So he also, this is another, act of devotion. Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, he saw Umayyah bin Khalaf. Umayyah bin Khalaf. That's another disbeliever Quraysh. Huh? Who's Umayyah bin Khalaf? Yes, the master of, he put a huge rock on the chest of Bilal radiallahu anhu, tortured him basically, and told him to lay on the hot sand, desert sand. So Umayyah bin Khalaf. So this is, so Abdul Rahman saw Umayyah because he took part in Badr, he came. And they were very close friends before Islam, the two. Abdul Rahman ibn Auf and Umayyah bin Khalaf, very close friends. So what happened here, Umayyah bin Khalaf, he was captured. So Abdul Rahman ibn Auf saw him, his old friend basically, and then so he said, look, so he walked with the Umayyah basically, walked with him, and then after that Bilal radiallahu anhu was there as well. Bilal, the caller for salah, for prayer, and he was the slave of Umayyah. So he suddenly had what? A memory flashback of the past memory, the torture and the torture he went through and all of that. So he made an intention to take revenge basically. Do something to Umayyah bin Khalaf, of course. And then so Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, he tried to calm the situation, tried to ease the tension between Umayyah and between Umayyah and Bilal radiallahu anhu. So over here, but the Muslim, they gathered around Umayyah, and then they struck him with their swords. Yes. So Abdul Rahman ibn Auf told Umayyah to run away, to run away because save yourself, run away. But then he could not run away because many of the Muslims surrounded him and basically hit him with their swords. So he fell down. So Abdul Rahman ibn Auf said, may Allah have mercy on Bilal radiallahu anhu. And then he said, that he deprived me from the spoils. The spoils is the things you get from the enemy, the booty, yes? Because now I don't get the spoils. Someone else gets it. Because the one who killed gets the spoils. Yes. All of it. It's what you get, inshallah. It's a form of encouragement, You don't fight for that, but that's what you get to as well, you do get, even armies, they get things. They get badge of honor, for, how many successful missions they completed, So this is a system of, honoring someone who made the sacrifice or something. So yeah, Abdurrahman, he wanted to get, because that's something virtuous to do. Allahu Akbar. So this one here, if you see, this is the battle between good and evil. Good and evil. And Umar radiallahu anhu, Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, he was very strong, that he doesn't want to spare any life, yes, spare any life of his, the polytheists, the Quraysh. So he wanted to actually end all their lives, no captivities, this, yes. And then also Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he shouted at his son, saying, Abdurrahman ibn Abi Bakr, he was fighting for the polytheists, for the Quraysh. So Abu Bakr shouted to him, where's my wealth, Huh? You wicked lad, where's my wealth? He's speaking to his son. And his son replied, oh, that's gone in the wind. See, because they took all the wealth of the Muslim by force. That's why. So his son replied, it's gone in the wind. The wealth is gone in the wind. So this is so some Sahabi, inshallah, we will continue next time. The Sahabi, some of them, they prefer to, kill all the enemies and not, leave them alive, kill them. And some say, we ransom, they can be released if they pay some amount to the Muslims. They can be released. So this is up to the leader to decide which one is more beneficial. Because sometimes more benefit is to, to hold captive for some wealth in return, or to end their life. So inshallah, we see here, the Sahaba, they were very strong, 300. I think if we were in that situation, we say, no, I'm going home. I'm going home. No, this is suicide, yes? 300 against 1,000, well equipped. But then because of that, what is it called, the high trust, the strong trust in the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the tawakkul. If you hear, Allah helps them. So that's why the sacrifice of the Sahaba is something that we cannot repay, and how they, bring the deen to us, and not just them, even those who are after them, the scholars, and the scholars dedicate their life to learn this knowledge, to transfer the knowledge of, Quran and Hadith to our generation. So we have to pay, high respect to, to the Sahaba, to the. So inshallah, anyone wants to share anything, question or discussion, inshallah, regarding this? Do we still remember the names, inshallah? Yes? Hopefully. Yes? Remember, sir? Yes. The help of Allah. What do you mean by the help of Allah? Or the battle? It's always there. The battle between evil and good is always there. It's going to be continuing until the day of judgment. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Occur again, yes. No doubt about that, yes. Inshallah. Even in hadith I read when I was studying that, Imam Mahdi will send forces in it to